Altcoins are pumping. Many people are asking what's going to happen to altcoins in 2021. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 crazy altcoin predictions. We're going to cover Ethereum, we're going to cover Ripple, we're going to cover Chainlink, we're going to cover many of the Bitcoin forks. So you don't want to miss this. Have a lot of fun. Hey and welcome to today's video. My name is Julian. On my channel, it's all about making you crypto fit. I discuss the beautiful world of decentralization, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, most of all. Today, we're going to cover altcoins. If you're new to the channel, you might want to subscribe, especially right now. You don't want to miss anything here. And if you are a returning subscriber, then welcome back. It's going to be an exciting video. Let's talk about those 10 key points and let's discuss the very first one. And that is, in my opinion, in 2021, the altcoins are going to see a totally different audience than Bitcoin. Bitcoin, and we discussed this in yesterday's video, are going to be covered way more by institutional investors. I rather think altcoins are going to be covered by retail investors. This means, and we are totally used to this, a lot more pump, a lot more dump. It's very similar to 2017. So if you're going into altcoins, you are probably going to have a strong stomach and you're going to be having to be used to all those, well, ups and downs. That brings me to my prediction number 2. And that is that retail investors probably rather gonna buy coins with a smaller unit price in 2021 than the higher unit prices. What do I mean with this? Well, a lot of retail investors, and it is retail, don't understand that it's not only about how much a coin is, it's about the total market cap. And so many of the retail investors always think that a coin that's $1 is better than a coin with $1,000 or $10,000. And it's actually not. But it has shown that coins with a smaller unit price, many times it's not about being too cheap because then they think it's more like penny stocks. But in the dollar range, many times perform better than coins that are in the thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars because people always think they're a bit more expensive, and I think this trend is definitely going to continue in 2021. That brings me to prediction number 3. I do not think that the altcoins as a whole are going to be outperforming Bitcoin. This is the only indicator that you can see in the Bitcoin dominance. And I think the Bitcoin dominance is going to stay between 60 to 70%. It's always fluctuating around this. I don't think the Bitcoin dominance goes above 70%. I also don't think it's going to go below 60%. So it's going to move in this kind of range. This generally shows that, Bitcoin is not being outperformed by altcoins. It's actually going to be the contrary. Most altcoins will underperform against Bitcoin, especially, and that's key, especially the older altcoins. They're probably going to be rather underperforming. And then there's going to be only a very few altcoins, probably more the newer ones that are going to be outperforming Bitcoins. We have seen this. There's exceptions, obviously, to any rule. But if you look at the broad market, hundreds, if not thousands of coins that were launched in 2016, 2017, completely underperforming. Except for a few, they are outperforming. But all the others normally underperform, and then a few will outperform. That brings me to prediction number 4. While many altcoins will completely underperform, there will be projects that were launched in 2020 and probably now in 2021 that will go into the top 20, into the top 10. And that's always been the case. People don't believe this, but this was the same in 2017. Believe me, I remember when people were like, oh, all the coins from 2013, 2014, they will stay in the top 10, in the top 20. Well, compare on coin market cap or whatever, the composition of the top 10, top 20 completely changed. There's maybe 2 or 3 coins that kind of stayed. But then, it was a totally new addition. Don't forget, Ethereum only launched in an entire flow. So in those 2 market hype cycles, it completely changed. So I think that's going to be a key thing to consider when you look at newer coins. So I definitely think some new altcoins are going to go in there, especially some of the newer ones. Prediction number 5. Blockchains and projects around DeFi will be very strong. And the reason I think this is because I totally see this trend continuing, especially when DeFi projects grow up. When blockchains focused around DeFi will grow up, when they're going to focus more on actual use cases, real world use cases. It's going to be less about the hype. It's going to be a lot about substance. And you can see this already. Why do you think that, for example, blockchains like Polkadot did so well? Well, it's DeFi. Why do you think Ethereum is doing so well? It's DeFi. Why do you think DeFi chain is doing so well? Well, it's in the name. It's DeFi. And you will see this a lot with projects. You will see Wi-Fi taking a lot over. And I believe this trend is totally going to continue. I also think, for example, Cardano is only going to be super successful if they really manage to get DeFi going on their chain. The same is for the Binance Smart Chain, BNB, and so on. So this is going to be a very, very key prediction. Also, if you're an investor that's not only in Bitcoin, this probably also means you want to get some exposure to some of the DeFi projects out there. I think they're going to do really, really well. They've done well in 2020. I totally foresee them doing insanely well in 2021. That brings me to prediction number 6. And I think that XRP is only the beginning of this regulatory problem. I think many regulators around the world are actually going to go after a lot of projects that are very centralized and or have done ICOs / security token offerings. And the reason why I believe this is because many of these projects are underperforming. Investors are frustrated, they're gonna sue, they're gonna complain. There are other companies or other projects that are maybe jealous and they try to sue that. So there will be a lot of that. This also means if Ripple doesn't get their stuff together, doesn't get their ducks in a row, they might drop out of the top 10. This is gonna be a crazy one, and you will see. They might just get more and more frustrated. Fewer and fewer people are able to participate. The price might drop. Other projects completely catch up. You see this already right now where Litecoin starts to overtake XRP. This is just the beginning. And at some point, again, if they don't get their stuff together, they're going to drop further and further. They're not going to be the only one. There's going to be so many others who are going to be attacked, who are going to be approached. And again, if they don't get their stuff together, they're just going to get more and more problems and they're going to start going down. So be very careful if you're investing into very centralized coins that have done large, prominent ICOs. I think they're going to get more and more trouble the longer it goes because people are getting frustrated. They're getting impatient. Some are starting to sue. Some regulators need to step in. So this is going to be an important one. This brings me to topic number 7. And that is, I think by the end of 2021, Tether is not, remember, let me repeat this, is not going to be the number one stablecoin anymore. I'm not saying that Tether is going to implode. I'm just saying that more and more people are going to go into alternatives. They're going to go into USDC or into other stablecoins, PAX, for example, because they're just tired of all the noise and all the bad news that is around Tether. And all the other stablecoins have been catching up. Now, Tether is still number one. It's by far number one, but this can change. Obviously, there's several kind of ways how this can change. It can change in a disruptive way. That is a possible black swan, so stay away of that or be careful. And then, well, in others, it's just that more and more funding is going to flow into USDC, for example. Visa is using this. Many, many more projects are using it. So just kind of keep this in mind. Let's see how this prediction turns out. Now, this is not an investment kind of idea, but again, it affects altcoins. I'm not necessarily saying that there's going to be an implosion of Tether. This would be a black swan, but you just might want to pay attention to that and watch out for that. Now, prediction number 8, and that's the Bitcoin forks or Bitcoin competitors. So I'm talking about Bitcoin Cash, BSV, Litecoin, and what they're all named. Basically, all kind of trying to access this idea of, well, being a Bitcoin competitor, being better Bitcoin. So whatever is trying to be better Bitcoin is going to lose more and more and more in 2021. Remember, yes, there will be pumps and even crazier dumps. You have seen this with all these coins. They hit one all-time low against Bitcoin. They might be winning against the dollar. That's not the measurement here. The measurement is Bitcoin. You need to measure every altcoin against Bitcoin. And my prediction is that most of these coins will actually hit one all-time low after another. The reason is that the brand of Bitcoin, the use case for Bitcoin, for digital gold, for being a decentralized store of value is getting stronger and stronger. And it's just going to get super hard for those altcoins to win against that. So let's see how this goes. And if you look at actually all these predictions, you see that I pretty much start covering all the top 10, top 20, top 30 altcoins. So you can just apply those to every one of those coins, and you see a bit of my idea behind of all of those. This brings me to another group, and that's actually point number 9. It's a group we haven't discussed. That's privacy coins. We're talking about Monero, about Zcash, about Dash. This is going to be an important one. I see more and more regulation there, more and more kind of pressure on these coins. I know that Dash is not trying to be a privacy coin, but it's going to be put into the same group. And again, this puts me to another, well, maybe prediction that's not that nice. And I still hold Monero myself. I think those coins will get pressured. They will underperform against Bitcoin. And that's always the key measurement stick. It's not about the dollar, it's about Bitcoin. So the question for you is, why do you hold those coins? If you purely see them only as an investment, probably they're not a good investment. If you hold them like myself as an insurance policy against Bitcoin, then I think this is a very smart move, because these coins are private and they have some insurance policy in that sense. So to me, it's just like an insurance policy. If I invest money there, I write it off. I hope I never need to use it. I hope the underlying product, in this case, Bitcoin, is going to do really well. But should there be any kind of censorship, any kind of problem in Bitcoin, I think especially Monero might be doing extremely well. If Bitcoin is doing well in 2021, probably these privacy coins will not do as well. And this brings me to the last and final prediction. And that's actually an Ethereum prediction, because that's the coin, well, obviously with DeFi I'm bullish on, but so how bullish? And it's the only coin other than Bitcoin and DFI where I think we're going to see around $50. Bitcoin, I mentioned yesterday, we're going to see probably around $250,000. So DFI probably could see a 30x. Bitcoin could see like an 8-9x. Ethereum could outperform Bitcoin. It could outperform Bitcoin, and that's a key thing now. If it doesn't outperform Bitcoin, you actually should not hold Ethereum, because Bitcoin has less downside. So you need to expect more upside in Ethereum. But it could outperform Bitcoin if the hype for Ethereum 2.0 stays, if they keep continuing on the DeFi side, that's a key thing, and obviously if they don't have any major attacks or any kind of major bugs. Then I think, just because of the hype cycle and because of the community and all the craziness, Ethereum could, I'm not saying it does, but it could outperform Ethereum. So to me, that puts it at a price target of around $8,000. That's a bit more than Bitcoin could do. Again, to me, this doesn't rectify putting all your funds into Ethereum. You should probably keep the largest amount in Bitcoin, then put a little bit into altcoins. I covered this a lot in the other videos. But so these are my 10 crazy predictions on altcoins. Let me know if you are holding any of the altcoins that I mentioned, and how do you see this prediction? Which of these altcoins is actually going to do really well? Let me know. I would be very curious. And or are there any predictions that I missed or that you think you wanted to add? So that's going to be a key thing. With that, if you're new, subscribe. If you want to have more of these free videos, then again, you don't want to miss anything. Other than that, I would love if you give me a thumbs up, and then I'll see you around for the next ones. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Yours truly, Julian. Bye-bye.